Hey everybody, it's Chris Lagarde with the Chris and Caleb Real Estate Team, where we are committed to dramatically impacting lives through real estate. So today I have an interview, a very good friend of mine, fellow CrossFit nut, extremely strong dude, it's Tyler Changaris with the Bridge Academy, assistant director at the Bridge Academy in Coatesville.
Yes.
How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Cool.
Glad to be here.
I'm glad you're here. So just wanted to talk about our mission for just a second. So we're committed to dramatically impacting lives through real estate. A few years ago, when we were looking for a nonprofit to link up with that matched that mission, immediately I thought of the Bridge Academy and Community Center in Coatesville. And the reason is because over the last 10 to 15 years, I've witnessed their program and people that volunteer there make a dramatic difference in the lives of children and adults in Coatesville. So for those of you that may not know, maybe you're from out of the area, Coatesville is is it the most impoverished part of Chester County?
Yeah, I would say that, yeah.
Okay,
It's a fair
assessment.
Yeah.
So it's interesting because Chester County in and of itself, I think, is one of the top, it's like the 25th or 26th wealthiest county out of 3,000 counties in the United States. And so, Coatesville has, it's just I guess maybe a dark place if you want to call it that, but the people there are amazing. I've gotten to know people there, and obviously Tyler has, and it's just, I love it. And so when I look at the Bridge Academy and what they're doing, it just excites me and it matches our mission very well. So Tyler, why don't you tell us what's the mission of the Bridge Academy?
Yeah.
What does it do?
Yeah, so the Bridge Academy, we're a Christian nonprofit community center in Coatesville, and our mission is to equip the students and the families with the tools necessary for academic achievement, life skills, creative growth, spiritual development, and leadership. So we kind of work with a person. We do a lot of programming, but we really are focused on the individual, and we focus on a lot of different things. Obviously, our faith is what propels us to do all these things, but in those things that we believe in education, because if a child or a person or a student can't read, can't learn, then they're not going to be able to succeed in life. So education is like a huge focus of what we do, and it's a great way to really help people succeed. And then we do some other really cool things, creative art programs, like art classes and cooking and wood chips, which is our woodworking class for young boys. And then we do some other fun stuff throughout the year too, large group settings. And we also participate in some community-wide events like the Book Bag Drive. I know you guys have helped out with in the past. This year I think we got 1,500 book bags donated, and we had a big community-wide event. And it's been, I think this was the fourth year we did that like that. So we do a lot of different things. We believe in helping people at all levels and with whatever they need. But we definitely, our big focus is education, and then sharing our faith through all these programs.
Cool. So honestly, my goal, I'll be completely honest, is to spark your interest and get involved or to give in some way by sharing the story with you. So I'm not going to be ashamed to say that. But so talk to me a little bit about what is a typical day at the Bridge look like? What are I know you just mentioned some programs, but maybe you can share in a couple minutes, a story of one of the kids, an example of a kid or something like that.
Yeah. So we've been doing this. This will be our 15th year of programs going into this fall, which is really exciting since it's a long time for an organization like this to actually exist. So we operate throughout the school year, but Monday through Thursday we have our programs. And so like a typical day is we're open from after school hours until about 8 o'clock at night. And that would encapsulate, the 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. would be we have tutoring programs, we might have a cooking class, and then we might have a large group nighttime programs. So a typical, let's say a Wednesday. We actually start before school is over. We have a mom's club that about 30 to 40 women come every week, and there's food, and it's a time for the moms to get together. Then,
my wife actually goes to that. Some of the stories I hear, I know they have a lot of fun. I'll just put it that way.
Yeah, there's a lot of fun. It's a lot of food, a lot of good stuff. And then after school tutoring, that's the middle school and high school kids. We like to pair them up with a mentor one-on-one to try to get a little bit more focused. And then after that time, from about 3:30 to 5 is a tutoring with the element, K through 5th grade, so kindergarten through 5th grade. And then also right after that, we do an art class too. And then we have a little break, and then we also go into our nighttime programs, which is like our 3rd to 5th grade night. We have about 30 kids that show up. We do a lesson, we do homework, games, a lot of fun. And then also on Wednesdays, we have our woodworking class. So there's a lot going on different days of the week. But a really good story about what we do is that we like to provide an opportunity for kids to grow, because ultimately at the end of the day, people have to want to change, or have to want to learn or do whatever. So there was a family and at the school, and they said, hey, you know what, your son's not doing well in school. And the mom said, I don't know what to do. There's nothing for him to do after school to get involved with. And I think the principal had said, come to the Bridge Academy, So she called us, she got him signed up for our after school tutoring, she talked to our tutoring director, and he came. And then it was probably maybe 3 or 4 weeks before school got out, so our program ended. And we were like, oh, he's a great kid. No, he doesn't. He understands stuff pretty well. And then the summer came, fall. And then the summer was over. Fall came, and he came back. And within 2 weeks, we were like, who is this kid? Really behavior issues. And once he was comfortable with us, he really opened up to who he really was. And we realized, like, this kid's behavior issues at school, and some of the stuff that's going on at home, and then just all these different things. We really dug into his life. So we were like, you know what, he can't be in the large group setting. We found him a one-on-one tutor with one of our best guys. So he works with him on a one-on-one basis. I've actually been able to go into the schools with permission of the schools and the teacher. We've gone to the different behavioral meetings with the principals and the parents, and so we've really really come around him, and even to the point where the teacher wrote to us saying, hey, his clothes aren't fitting. Can we get him some clothes? So we were able to get him some clothes anonymously, and so really just coming around a kid, not just here's a program to go to. It's like, hey, this is a need, and what's that need for that child? And he's come a long way. He still has a long way to go. Sure. But his mom is just so grateful for what we do, and we're not doing anything special. It's just that taking that time to care about his needs. Some kids are different. Some kids might just need a place to come and do homework and some love. Other kids might need the more hands-on, and then we actually are really attacking a problem. So it's needed for both.
Programs are one thing, right? I mean, you set a program out, and that only goes so far. When you get into relationship and get into somebody's life, like the example you just gave, man, that makes a huge difference. I mean, a kid, no matter what's going on in his life, maybe it's a broken family or bad situation or whatever it is, to have some folks that show him or her that they're valued and loved, in an unconditional manner is just so powerful. I mean, what happened? Let's say he didn't get into that program and you guys weren't around. What would have happened to him?
I mean, I'm not really sure what would have happened to him.
Or what's typical of what?
Well, I mean, the path he was on, he was behavior issues. He probably wasn't going to make it past a certain grade without maybe having to go to a special school. And then before you know it, as these kids get a little older, if they do some things, they could end up even with the law. And then once they have a record, it's just hard to get out. And then if the mom isn't, she might not have a lot of money to pay for these things. So we really believe that we're providing a resource that these kids that they need, and it's just the opportunity for them to do well. And we do that in a lot of ways. But I think that quote, there's no great learning without great relationship. And we believe that fully, that you need to have a relationship with people before you can really speak truth into them. And then another really good story, middle school girl. Middle school girls can be a little bit moody and
really?
And she was, she's an awesome girl. We have an equestrian leadership, so these kids get to go to Locust Lane Riding Center and they get to participate in a horseback riding program, which is really cool. It's free to them. And this one girl, she had signed up. She went the first week, and the second week she was at the bridge half an hour before they were going to leave, and she said, I'm going to get my hair done. And I said, well, you signed up for this. You need to be here for this. And I kind of was joking and laughing, trying to get her to convince her to go. Soon enough, she was out the door, and I was like, oh, she's really not going. I really got to get her. I got to say something to her. So, after I said it a couple more times, and then finally I looked at her and I just said, you signed up for this. that it's your responsibility to go. You made a commitment. This can be done some other time. Like what you're doing is wrong.
Right.
So, but I said we love you, you know, and if you don't go, it's not gonna like change the way we feel about you. But you have to know that what you're doing is wrong.
Right. Right.
And it's your choice to make that wrong decision. She left. She showed up 5 minutes before the bus came.
Oh wow.
So she did get on the bus and she did go. But I think it was a prime example of the fact that like we still have to tell kids, we have to give them that love and that discipline, that structure. But then also they need to know like I'm loved. Yeah. You know, in the process.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you know, I've seen, now they're young men, but I've seen kids go through their program and be connected in those ways, and you know, instead of getting in trouble with the law or going off in, you know, bad directions, you know, they're becoming, you know, they're in school, being an electrician, or you know, Bible school, things like that. I mean, they're doing awesome things on a great path rather than a not great path. What's it cost you per child to bring you know, a child through your program in a year? What's the cost for that?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a fluid number, but I would say that we can probably get a child through our program for about $500 a year. Okay. And we provide programming literally throughout the whole school year. Right. And then we have about 6 weeks in the summer. And that $500 number, I would say, includes, you know, daily programming, and then also we love to get them Christmas presents. So if you're involved in our program, you get a Christmas present. We have opportunity for like jackets and coats throughout the year through different donations and different things like that. But yeah, I'd say about $500 to get a kid through the year. And literally, there are some kids that are in our building every day. Yeah. They're hours and hours. I almost wish they would go home. Yeah. But they're there every day, and they take full advantage of the food that we have. Because sometimes the kids that we work with, food might not be as stable in the home, you know, or it might not have a parent making them dinner. They might have to fend for themselves a little bit. Yep. And so when a child knows that they have food and that they have love, they're going to do way better than if they're not. So yeah. How
many kids do you have like currently that are involved in the Bridge Academy right now?
Yeah, so it kind of fluctuates depending on the time of year. In the summertime, I think this past summer, we had about 160 kids come through our doors over the 6 weeks. And then in the school year, on average, we have about 150, 200 kids come through each week, but then we have about 300 kids come through the school year in total. So some of those kids come once or twice, or you know, some of them come every day. Yeah. So it's definitely fluctuates, but what we try to do is try to get the kids involved in something, and we found out if you let the kids come in on their own terms, and then if you work with them a little bit, they're way more likely to stay than if you're just trying to drag kids. We don't do any advertising. We don't do any, you know, paid for stuff. It's all word of mouth, and it's all built on relationship and respect. And people know what we do there, and people in the community really enjoy what we do.
Cool. So almost out of time. So what I want to do is, if you guys are sticking in, I appreciate you guys watching. You're a nonprofit organization. We support you financially, as well as, you know, any other way that we can. What, you know, I don't know how many people are going to watch this, but what do you need from folks? Like, you know, what if somebody said, I can do whatever you want, like, what do you need from us financially, as well as like maybe time wise?
Yeah. We'll start with time, and then we start with finances. Yes. So I think our biggest thing is this human capital. You know, money is great, but money doesn't teach a kid how to love someone. Right. And so what we need is committed individuals who can give an hour a week, or if more, if you want, just to work with a child or be there and to show these kids what it means to be a loving, responsible adult. And I think that's just so important that you don't have to do anything crazy, but we have volunteers who've been coming for year after year after year, just every Monday from 4 to 5. Yep. Cool. And they might not feel like they're making a huge difference, but they're making a huge impact when those kids know that person's going to be there, and that might be the only stable thing in that kid's life, where they can maybe, you know, feel loved and respected and trusted and all those things. So I would say the human capital, just find a place to volunteer, even if it's not with us. Find a place to volunteer and just like, you are making a difference in that one child, and we do believe that. But it's humans and people that make these relationships work. At the end of the day, the Bridge, we have nothing special besides our relationships. That's what people come there for. And then so on the financial side, obviously we do believe that we are really good stewards of what God has given us and what people give us. So we believe to use the money in a wise way. And most of our money will go either towards programming or helping to pay the staff.
Okay.
And obviously the staff is really what helps run the organization alongside the volunteers. But that I think at our banquet last year, we were able to say that every single dollar donated went towards programming,
Right.
Which is a really cool thing. So, we're very, for what our budget is compared to what we do, I do believe that we produce really good results and we're efficient with our money.
Yep.
And so we are always looking for financial gifts because we would love to provide more opportunities for kids and better opportunities for them to go out and do things that might not be within the general operating budget. Like taking kids for trips and not just providing physical things, but opportunities for them to grow, whatever it may be.
How can people get a hold of you?
Facebook, we're on the Bridge Academy Community Center, and then also on our website, thebridgeacademy.org.
Okay.
Is a really good way. We have a good, nice website to learn.
So if they go on Facebook and type in the Bridge Academy and Community Center, it'll show up. It's in Coatesville, so if there's more than one, make sure it's the one in Coatesville, and they can reach you that way.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool.
That sounds great. So.
Thanks, guys, for tuning in. Again, Tyler Changaris at the Bridge Academy Community Center in Coatesville. If this, hit you, looking for something to help with financially or time-wise, please reach out to them. They would love to have you. And like I said before, the people that you're going to be getting involved with are amazing. I spend time. We have a church plant in that area that just love getting to know the people there. It's just so genuine. So anyway, that's it. Chris and Caleb Team Live today. Till next week, we'll see you then. Bye-bye.